Too sexy for my love. Too sexy for my love. Love's going to leave.
I'm so happy to have you here. Amie Lettingham here. If we're meeting for the first time, I'm a master certified relationship coach, and I help women that rock it in every aspect of their life except for the love department. And today I have a special episode of Ask Amie because why? Today is Valentine's Day and I want you to date yourself. So I have Kim Apodaca here, and she is a fashion stylist and coach, and she's going to share with you 3 amazing tips that are going to rock your world and help you date yourself this Valentine's Day. Kim, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Amie. I'm great. Thank you for inviting me.
I love it that you're here. And honestly, the major thing that I want to find out first is how you got started. So let's start with that.
Yeah, there's never a straight line. I started in the entertainment business and was styling people on the red carpet, helping with sort of that kind of wardrobe for events. And then I had my daughter and I decided to be a stay-at-home mom. After 2 months, I was like, that wasn't for me. I was kind of
You're like, I need to get out and do something.
I love being out there. And I was doing these mommy and me groups that you do when you first have a little baby. And all these moms around me were just so depressed and struggling, and we're all sleep deprived. And I like arrive in my cute little outfit, but I nursed for 2.5 years, and everyone would say like, how do you do this? And how do you do this nursing? And I was like, well, I don't know. I like this shirt and this is what I would wear. And everyone started asking me for help. And that's, 11 years ago, that's how I started my business, Recharge Your Style. And I specialize in working with everyday people, just how to find themselves. I think so many of us lose ourselves we've never found it to begin with, but lose ourselves in having children and trying to be someone we're not. And we get lost. And so I kind of help you refine that person back again and package it with clothing.
That's amazing. And I think that's so important. I mean, even with the relationship coaching I do, it's really about igniting your identity again, right? Because you lose yourself, and you start getting into the grind at work or with your family. And then all of a sudden, your nails aren't getting done, your hair's not getting done, and you're not even looking for love. Like some of my clients are, single, divorced, and they're just giving up on love, and they don't have to. You can juggle it all. If you know how to handle it, you have the right people helping you, right?
Absolutely. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. So
pleasure.
I want to go into like the tips, the 3 tips we're going to talk about today to learn how to date yourself and make yourself a priority. So let's start with authenticity. You said that's really important. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's so important. This is where fashion can get a little tricky. I love fashion, but we have to make it feel right for ourselves. And so too often we are looking at a trend and we're trying to fit into that. And, it goes a little bit along the lines of your people pleasing. We've got to make it work for us. And so my pet peeve is seeing, for instance, a lady walk around with super high heels because that's what they've seen a celebrity wear. And then their posture's like curved over and they're, they can't really be themselves and they feel awkward. And so too often I see people wear clothes that wear them instead of them wearing the clothes. Remember, your clothes are there to accessorize you, who you are. If you are a, down to earth person and you like to get in there and get stuff done and clothes that are too tight and stiff, it's just not going to feel like you. So that's why it's so important to wear clothes that make you feel like you. And yes, you can incorporate fashion pieces, but it's it's so important to feel who you feel like. And the best accessory is confidence. Confidence is sexy, and you can't feel confident if you don't feel like yourself. So
I agree. And what's interesting is that, and I'm going to admit to this, guys, back in the single days, before I became a coach, right? And this is where I struggled. I fell for the marketing trap is what I call it. Mm-hmm. And that's where you mold into trying to please or look at the person across from you and try to impress them. So I would go look at fashion trends because I wanted to be cool and hip. But the problem was I don't do well with straight line dresses because I'm a curvy girl. Right. And so I would wear these outfits, go out, and it wouldn't be flattering and I wouldn't feel good. I'd feel like I was wearing something that did not belong on my body. And guess what? my energy was like that when I showed up on the date. I wasn't authentic, real, and I was trying to impress the person. So, do yourself a favor and start owning your body and buying things that fit you and make you feel sexy. That way you can show up confident. Like she said, confidence is sexy.
Exactly.
So, right? Don't you agree?
Absolutely. And another thing you can do to experiment with that is wear what you feel comfortable. I don't mean walking around in sweatpants, because I don't think that is more of a view. I mean, I'm not saying be comfy.
That's for after you're a couple, and then you can.
Actually, never. You can get really cute outfits. So I call it my home. But anyway, you I know in your work you speak about conscious dating, and I talk about conscious dressing. Put something on, see how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel powerful? Does it make you feel sexy? Does it make you feel collaborative? And then decide like how you want to be in that moment, and see how people react to what you're wearing, as you're experimenting with what works and what doesn't work.
That's awesome. Thank you. I agree 100%. So the next tip is less is more. Tell me a little bit more about that.
This is the death trap. So many times we want to, attract that guy, and we kind of need to leave our date wanting more and not feeling satisfied. So, avoid the death plunge, the extreme plunging neckline, because we're left fidgeting, and sometimes things don't look so great, the way we've positioned them, or skirts that are just too high and we're awkward and we keep struggling and tugging them down. I was thinking to myself, like, wear an open shoulder, show a little shoulder. That's sexy, maybe the collarbone is the new cleavage, but let them be guessing, what is there. And I think there's some science behind that, Amie. Isn't there?
Actually, it's great. Collarbone is the new cleavage. I love that. I'm going to steal that, by the way. No, there was a TED Talk. This woman, I think she hacked the algorithm of online dating. I was watching the TED Talk. But she noticed she got more responses with photos that showed her shoulders, not her cleavage, but her shoulders. And it showed a feminine side of her. And she actually met her husband online. And she said that she got more responses with those types of photos. So you can still show sexuality in a way that, doesn't give it all away. And, we want to have some curiosity. I mean, with dating online, let the person meet you and actually get to know your core values before you show all the sexy away. You know what I'm saying? That way there's more meat in the game, and there's actually a deeper connection than just, I want to get you in bed. Now, if your goal is to just get in bed, now all more power to you.
There you go.
Just date and find a relationship, then, listen to what Kim said. All right, last tip is so important. This tip to me, I actually have to remind myself. I have a schedule on my phone that dings off and it says, time for deep self-care.
Oh, I love that.
I forget about it. Yeah. So self-care is the next tip. Tell us a little bit about your tips on self-care.
Right. So this might be a weird tip because it's not fashion-based, but too often I see ladies and they're, spending all this time trying to make themselves look good, and they do their hair and their makeup and they've got the dress, and then I look down at their hands and I look down at their feet and I'm like, oh my God, you need to cut those nails or file those. It sounds terrible, but it's so true. You've got to take care of yourself in the finer details, those little details, because it says a lot about who you are. So you can't take care of yourself. Can you take care of someone else? And if you're not paying attention to those fine details, can you nurture someone else's needs or see what, it's just very telling of who you are. So please make sure those hands are clean, the nails are filed, your feet are clean, especially if you're wearing an open shoe. File those heels down. That's what I tell my clients, and pay attention to those things. It's really important.
Yeah, and it also ties the whole outfit together. If you're going to be dressing for success, you want to make sure that your hair and your nails and everything's looking like it matches, everything else. One of the things I have to say, unfortunately, in the world of dating, we're going off of the first impression, right? And people do judge a book by its cover. And so if you're not putting your best foot forward, you're not really saying, I'm really finding a relationship a priority, because I'm not making myself a priority first.
Right.
And I totally agree with you, Kim. How can you make another person a priority when you can't do it to yourself first?
Exactly. I read that stat. I think Tony Robbins was quoted in the Forbes magazine, and they said you make an impression in the first 6 seconds of meeting someone. Not that you still have to be you to sustain that image, right? So you still have another chance, but to make that first impression, I think with dating, especially online dating, and you got to make it quick and happen fast. Take care of those little details. Be you. And keep them guessing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Kim, thank you so much for these amazing tips.
You're welcome.
How are these wonderful viewers going to get a hold of you and get some tips on fashion ideas and get coached by you in fashion? So give us an idea how to connect with you.
You can go and read my blog or go online to rechargeyourstyle.com. I'm very accessible, so shoot me out an email. And also you can follow me on Instagram at Kim_Apodaca, which is a mouthful, APODACA_style.
Awesome. Thank you. And you know what? Her Instagram feed is amazing. So you gotta go on there and connect with her so you can get some fashion ideas. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Amie, the dating coach. If you want to reach me, I'm at Amie, AMIE, thedatingcoach.com. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode, and thank you for joining us. Bye. Let's do a dance. Dance out song.
They foam my shirt.